What's going on, everybody? Welcome to SHOT Show 2025. My name is Trey, the Ghost Tactical. Welcome to the Ghost and Clover Show. My cohort and riding shotgun with Clover, I guess, not with Charlie, but Chris from CloverTac. What's up, Holmes?
We were riding with Charlie last night at the party, wasn't we? He was there. We seen
He
him.
was there. And I think that, this is going to be the last day at Bersa. We have one more day tomorrow morning over at EAA, but Bersa, This is where it ends up, man.
Not sadly, bittersweet.
No, it's been a long week. It's been a great week. We hope you guys have enjoyed meeting new companies, new organizations, and hope you guys support all of these great people. We are partnering up with this week Bersa and Walk the Talk America, and we're going to talk a little bit about a special thing we're going to be doing later on in the podcast.
As we close out, I think we'll do it. So stick around till the end for sure.
Absolutely. Today's date, for the record, it's the third day, not one day. Monday's one day, Tuesday's Tuesday. When? Third day. Today's Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. We're going to have our first two guests. First, we have Derek from KidSafe, and great organization. If you guys aren't aware, you're getting ready to learn all about it. And more importantly, here later on, he's going to tell you where you can go and find more information, support the cause, and all that. But Derek, welcome to the podcast. How you doing, my man?
Good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys are doing some fantastic work. I know it's a lot of work for you personally and all that, but I know that you have a passion for it.
Absolutely.
For people that don't know what KidSafe is, kind of give the origin story, the background of what you guys are doing.
Well, how deep you want to go?
We can go as deep. How deep is your love, man?
So basically, my founding for this, started back in 2014 when I was, driving a dump truck in the middle of the night, and there was like this flash of light, and there was this flash, and a voice that said I had to protect the children. I didn't know what that meant, and so I thought I had read too much Red Bull, maybe hallucinating or something like that, but I woke up the next morning after 2 hours of sleep and I realized that I wanted to start a program, and started to develop, and took about 2 years to develop the actual program. And then we became a nonprofit in 2016. Now we've reached over 30,000 kids in 9 states.
That's awesome.
And it's all from help from guys like you that believe in the mission and give us the opportunity to reach your audience to get the help that we do need.
Well, I think what it comes down to is, people that have a platform, have a voice or whatever, they fall in one of two things. They fall in one of it's about me, or it's about what other people are trying to do. And when you find someone that works hard like you, that has been, it's been 10 years. But when you find people that are doing the right thing for the right reason, not for a selfish reason, kind of hard to get behind them. It's kind of hard not to get behind something like that,
Yeah, you got to help the ones that help themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And you and I had the conversation. We talked extensively. So many of these 2A organizations, they're worthy, but their approach is weird. They beg. And by begging, I think when you go, please support me, please give me money, please. And by doing that, rather than highlighting your strengths, help us do this. Help us get to this point. Partner with us.
Absolutely.
To do this. And the messaging can get lost and make an organization or a person look weak. And you certainly aren't that. You put in the time, you put in the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears.
I think my emotion comes through sometimes in the post, because it's something like, this is my child, right? Like we all have children, right? And so that kind of comes through. But I think that's what humanizes and personalizes the work that we do, because really we're the tip of the spear. Like there's Project Child Safe. We hear that all the time. Here's a trigger lock, right? Trigger lock is not getting into the schools. Trigger lock is not writing legislation. Trigger lock is not advancing our 2A rights. And so that's where we come in, and we just need support, and we need people to align with the message and help us get to that next level. And that's why this is great. We love the podcast, and Chris Dover, Chris has been instrumental in pushing us out there.
Don't get his head any bigger than it already is.
Well, it just has to do with
we're similar.
What you're doing now is similar to what I did for 20 years.
Yeah.
You're way more 2A oriented, where mine was more what is like a changing social norm type thing. But other than that, very similar, revolutionary. I want to show something though.
Yeah.
The tat. Hold your arm up. Check this out. You think this guy didn't love the 2A?
That's my concealed carry permit.
Is that the 27 words right there?
That's 27 words. That's my concealed carry permit. So it covers in California, believe it or not. They don't listen.
They acknowledge it but don't accept it.
Yeah, I might have to.
They acknowledge its existence, but they really don't want it.
I don't know, man. Times are changing. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, let's hope. New leadership, So I'm optimistic, and it's just getting it out there and doing the work. And rising tide raises all boats. I feel like the vibe's good this year. I feel like there's a lot of good positive energy, and I'm hoping that we can capitalize on that and move it forward, right? And I'm looking at this is a 5-10 year, this is a generational thing for me, because so often, the gun industry is looking at a quarter at a time. We're talking, this is coming out first quarter, second quarter. I'm thinking 5 years. Where are we going to be at in 5 years? We have 4 years to make up some ground and make sure that we protect everything that we can build in these 4 years. Yeah. And so that's where the gun industry has to step up and do better.
Well, let's take that. Let's just ride with that. So as of today, you're planning for 4 or 5 years down the road. Mm-hmm. Where do you see 5 years? What does it look like 5 years from now? So what's the goal? 5
years would be funding to be able to have a foundation in every state in the country. That we have the blueprint, we can do it. We just need the funding. I had an amazing time seeing Catherine with Glock, and she helped me and opened up a door that. And I'm trying not to get emotional, but it's like you see someone of her stature and to take me by the hand and take me over to her marketing team because she believes in my little elevator pitch. Yeah. And that's going to change lives, and that's going to help move the needle in a way we need it to move. And obviously, when we talk about safety isn't sexy. And very often the industry is focused on the flashy things, and we're not focusing on foundational things that are going to move the needle in a way we need it to move to preserve the stuff that we're going to try to develop.
Absolutely. And I think what it comes down to is it's pretty easy to see passion, right? When someone's having a conversation, he's obviously passionate about this project. This isn't just something that you're doing half-assed or part-time or because you know what, it gets me to SHOT Show. Like when someone sees passion, it's easier to get behind something like that. So I mean, kudos, what you're doing is great.
Well, you talk about passion. There's your segue, right? And we'll bring it back around, and we'll bring Derek in, and we'll have a little bit of free for all, I'm sure. But talk about passion and what you do. Passion in making sure that you're bringing in firearms that fucking rock. Is Chase with EAA, man, European American Army.
What up?
Yeah, long time no see. Dude.
I know, right?
Like 15 minutes.
I haven't seen you in like a whole 20 minutes or anything.
Right,
it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this weird? There we go.
There you go.
I just couldn't hear myself, and I like hearing my own voice, so I don't know.
I'll bring out the bass.
I think he's trying to like mute me or something.
Which knob did you turn?
I turned it the wrong way. I'm not very smart, dude. I need pop-up pictures and crayons. Come on.
I'm not this.
Lord.
I'm not
for Bucks out there
says, I know what love is.
Real quick, Bullets for Bucks out there says still on. No, we're not still
Your show
on.
was yesterday.
That's Rob.
We don't need you anymore.
Get there. So, Rob Pink was crashing the screen. There he is.
Have a good day.
Oh, legendary.
That's how we do it around here.
That's how we do it. That's how we roll.
That's a highlight. Too bad we didn't get a photo of that.
He'll come back.
He'll
come back. Don't worry. There's a camera and microphones. He'll be back. Yeah.
So Bullets for Bucks is saying still on. Who's the guy dressed like the dinner salad? That would be me, of course. But no, we were in the
on acid, by the way.
We had the podcast there. That was a whole separate thing. Now we're in.
Did you get the special gummies before you put that on?
Whatever. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Like the Ninja Turtles.
We're supposed to be talking about EAA.
Let's do it. We can talk about whatever you want.
Paul's gonna be pissed. He doesn't listen to this because he doesn't listen to the podcast.
It's on a technological device.
This is true.
That's the first problem.
This is true. Well, then we can get it on AM for him.
We could literally go stand there with mics and talk in front of him. And he still wouldn't hear us. So
he wouldn't understand what we were saying. Even
no, not at all.
So, yeah. But yeah, you guys have the all the X series. So you're taking your complete lineup and really pimped them out.
Absolutely. Basically. Took the whole. So last year we took what we were doing, kind of revamped it, thinned the line out, kind of thinned the heart out some, played some stuff around. As of towards the end of 2024, we started playing around like, okay, trim the fat a little bit, do a couple things, and we really started tweaking hard. So not like that. tweaking on the guns.
You're the only one that went there, by the way.
We had
Well,
rather
I'm from
you,
Florida.
we
so
had,
we don't do that
UDC,
anymore.
UDC Florida
Yeah.
man every now and
we
then.
had rather,
100%.
we had rather you tweak than twerk. I can promise
That's fair. That's fair.
That's later.
you. We hope. We hope.
So what we did is so last year at SHOT Show, we sat down with Gerson's chief engineer, me and Paul, and we basically laid out our list of demands for the updated guns. And we did the, updated 2311s, our updated Influencer X. And we took those ideas, we rolled it kind of into the Regard, into the 14T, into the Disruptor. So they got some kind of minor updates, fluted barrels, threaded barrels and some of that stuff, that reverse two-tone, tungsten finish, some cool stuff. And then we went kind of nuts with the Influencer and the 2311. So you've got guaranteed 2 triggers, 4.5 pounds or better. You've got full-length rails. You've got targets in the box. Who does a proof target anymore? Nobody. That's like, old school a la German guns.
Yeah.
You've got an adjustable rear sight that's actually RMSC plate now. You've gone full works. You've got the Match X is, it's a comp, integral comp gun. You've got the 5-inch in the match. You've got lightning cuts now. You've got the works. You've got everything we could possibly do to those guns for a ridiculous price point. I'll put it against anything out there that's 3 times as much.
Yeah.
100% every day.
The interesting thing is I talked to Paul. So
That is
is
interesting. Yeah.
always. It's always an interesting guy. Yeah, true. Okay, anyway, so range day. I log into range day and want to check out the Match X. And he says, hey, come back. I think we're having a few trying to work out a few kinks. Pretty normal for range day out there with basically with all the dirt, the sand that was
Yeah,
blowing
we
in
mean
this
40
year.
tons of sand
Oh
flying around.
my
Yeah.
God, right? And so I'm okay, cool, not a problem. So I get back around, and by that time, it's like I was tired. I didn't care, didn't want to shoot anything. I didn't worry about it. And I was talking to him in the booth, and he said, it's interesting. He said, yeah, we figured out basically the issues we were having with intermittent. It was sand.
Yeah.
He said, the thing is, though, he said a couple of days down or whatever, the staccato,
Yeah.
wouldn't run at all.
Yeah.
With the sand at all.
I'm just saying.
So,
How much those cost?
less than a staccato.
No, I'm talking about the staccato.
I mean,
about 3 to 4 3 times what his is running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why pay more? Come on now.
Right.
Why pay more?
Yep.
No, I think that we were talking about this earlier with Emily over at the podcast at your booth not too long ago.
Yep.
That for whatever reason, and there's going to be several reasons why, but there's a lot of companies that didn't bring much anything new or a little bit new. You dropped 13 models in the last few months.
Basically, yeah.
That's more than most companies drop in a year, and the year's not even, it's just starting. We got more stuff coming down
No.
the line. From what you've seen in the booth the last week, from buyers, from whoever's in there checking them out, which model or two have seemed to be the ones that are kind of dominating the focus?
Definitely the Match X, 100%. The Influencer X getting a lot of attention. 14T.
Yeah.
14TX is still garnering a lot, and then obviously some of the new PBD crazy colorways we're doing and playing around with, that's getting a lot of attention right now.
It's like the distributor model type things.
Yeah, those are going to be,
Yeah.
Some of those will be special runs for distributors. Some of those will be special makeups for like a chain or whatever.
And I think you guys have kind of made a name for working with your distributors
Oh,
and
yeah.
the chains and stuff to do those special runs.
Yep.
So if somebody wants one, but they want something maybe a little more rare, a little more collectible version,
Yep.
then there's that option. And the price point is not much more, if any,
New.
which is interesting.
Yeah, very aggressive price point still. You just get an opportunity to have, one of our legacy products or one of our inline guns at a, something that's a little different, something nobody else got. We may only make 200, 250 of them. You never know.
Yeah.
It may be a 500 run, but it's a limited thing.
Do you have a favorite of the new line? Is that like trying to pick one of your 13 kids? But
No, I mean, honestly, probably the Match X is my, I mean, we all know. We've all been talking about it and playing with it. And
So I was in the booth yesterday, and I was doing a lot of man on the street interviews, walking to random people. I said, "Hey, mind if I film you for a second?" Like, "Oh, sure." So I was like, I see you got all these guns here, and you happen to pick this one up. Why? And everyone that basically most of the people that had the Match X, they're like, this thing on the end. It looks cool. They didn't know it was a comp. They had no idea what it's used for. They said, it looks really cool. And I was like, well, you know what? Looks is a huge part of this.
Oh, absolutely. And the cool thing about that one, though, is that is an integral comp. It's not a threaded, it's not pressed in, it's an integral comp. So it's machined in. So for certain states that have issues with removable pieces, that's not a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Any questions back? Anything you guys got for each other or curious?
For Derek is, so I'm mildly familiar with it. Not necessarily your elevator pitch, but throw out what you're telling everybody so the audience has an idea of what's going on.
So in previous years when I come here, I always feel like I'm the little fish in a big pond, right? And so I always kind of put the stats to the back of the presentation. And so this year I shifted the stats to the front.
Well done.
And to hear like 8 of the biggest companies in the industry say wow to the stats that I presented, because I got the receipts.
Yeah.
And they say, wow, like that was something very humbling and something I'm proud of. And a lot of it is just our reach and our, because we're putting out good positive content.
Yeah.
Obviously, we focus on shorts and, YouTube. So YouTube, we have 250,000 subscribers about, and then almost 11,000 on followers on Facebook. And so I'm kind of leaning into that, like with that. And that I feel that they finally are waking up to and seeing that there is value to a different lens. And that's where I'm trying to present this from a different lens. And where as we're seeing kids get older and older. So I saw some teens that are shooters. And so I'm really in support of them because they're representing our 2A going in the future in a responsible way. And they're also, their peers, right? So they're showing their peers that we can get involved at a young age. And we all know the data, the kids that know how to shoot are safer than any other part of our society, right? So I saw a stat the other day where like trap teams are safer than football teams, because there's virtually zero accidents.
Any firearms activity, period, is safer than football.
And so that's where we should be boosting. We should be boosting that up and yelling that at the top of our lungs, because right now the other side's they're confused. They don't know what to do. Like I got an email today and they're talking about the NRA. And they're talking, there's the boogeyman, right? And so now it's our time to really boost up the positive in the industry as opposed to and leave them in the dust.
Absolutely.
You brought in the older kiddos, right? And one thing that I learned is that it's really important to have youth leadership.
Absolutely.
And the reason for that, and we all got kids, we understand it. But when you got younger kids, they tend to listen to and look up to older kids more than they do adults. So if you have older kids that are grounded, educated, all of that kind of stuff, then they can be a conduit, right?
Absolutely.
To help bring up the ones behind them even easier and quicker.
Absolutely.
And that's where the industry almost needs to shift. Instead of having that focus on the sparkly things, as we're seeing these great stewards of our 2A rights, of the gun industries that are coming up, we should be doubling down on that instead of spending money on things that are not going to work and never work, and they always fizzle out.
100%. Like I said, Derek, you're doing great work. For people out there that want to find out more information, donate, support, however, where can they find you on social medias or email or websites? Where can they find you?
Okay, you can find me on my personal Facebook page. You can also find us on the Kids Safe Foundation website, there's 2 S's there, kidssafefoundation.org. Also on our YouTube channel. We're always available. We're always looking to collaborate. We're always looking to grow our message, and we're thankful for the opportunity here.
Yeah, you bet.
Absolutely.
Chase, EAA.
It's in the game. I'm sorry, my bad.
It's in the gun.
It's in the gun.
So EAA Corp, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, EA Corp, all the socials, eacorp.com. We're pretty
35 years, by the way.
35 years.
Happy birthday.
35 years.
35 years. 35 years. What's up, Zeke? Come on in, Ty.
So we've got our next guest.
We got our next
already
guest. Dude,
here.
ready to
Okay.
go.
Everybody's rolling.
Well, thank you, Derek Blanc from KidSafe, Chase Guffey from EAA Clover. We're going to be back in about 2 minutes, 2 seconds. That's my Chuck Willery, by the way.
More like five.
About
Yeah,
5
okay.
minutes. About 5 minutes with some more guests. And go check out kidsafe.org. Go check out eacorp.org. Unsubscribe from Ghost Tactical and subscribe to CloverTac. So we'll see in about 5
Or
minutes.
not.
No,
But,
or not.
Yeah, stand by.
Bersa has been a leading manufacturer for over 60 years. At Bersa, they understand that your safety is non-negotiable, and that's why they've crafted a line of exceptional firearms that redefine excellence. Their state-of-the-art manufacturing ensures every firearm is meticulously crafted to the highest standards, guaranteeing reliability and accuracy when it matters most. Whether you're a seasoned professional or a first-time gun owner, Bersa has a perfect solution for your needs. From the sleek and compact Thunder series, ideal for concealed carry, to the powerful and versatile BAR rifle, their range of firearms are designed for shooters who demand excellence in performance and design. Join the community of those who trust Bersa, a brand synonymous with innovation and quality. Their commitment to safety and precision has made them a trusted choice for law enforcement agencies and responsible gun owners alike. In a world where mental health is often overlooked, one organization is leading the charge. Walk the Talk America, a force for change, breaking down stigmas and fostering conversations that matter. At Walk the Talk America, they believe in the power of dialogue to reshape the narrative surrounding mental health. Their mission is simple but profound: to bridge the gap between mental health and firearms, because they understand that the real change starts with understanding, empathy, and open conversation. Tune into their groundbreaking podcast, Guns and Mental Health, where experts, advocates, and survivors share their stories and insights. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement towards a more compassionate and informed society. Join them as they organize events, workshops, and outreach programs to build a community that supports mental health without judgment. Join me in supporting Walk the Talk America and visit their website, walkthetalkamerica.org, to be part of the change. Well, guys, we do invite you to go check out both ours and Clover's YouTube channels. Ours is Ghost Tactical, where you can find all of our content over there, including our videos and our podcasts. And you can go check out Clover at CloverTac. Obviously, you can check out all of his content and podcasts as well. We also invite you to check out our websites. Ours is ghosttactical.us, where you'll be able to find everything that we're doing, including our swag store. And Clover's is clovertac.com. Once again, find all of his projects, all of his swag, and all of that. More importantly, guys, we do thank everyone for always supporting both myself and CloverTac, whether it's just by watching our stuff or those that do spend their hard-earned money through YouTube channel memberships. We do truly appreciate you guys. You guys make this all worthwhile. We are currently getting ready for our next guest, so stand by for the standby.
You guys go see. Okay. Right there.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
You come around here, sit right here. Let's see here. Zeke, are you sitting down? Or are you,
Well, I'm originally from Pennsylvania.
hold on a second. Are you sitting down? Or is,
Yeah,
okay.
I can stand.
No, just sit down. And then we'll put Danny or Krista here. We'll switch in on that one when we need to. If we can,
So are we doing like 10 minutes?
hold on.
10 minutes?
Oh, yeah, that's the key there, Chair. Yeah, 10-minute segments. There's 20 minutes
Here.
10 and 10. We kind of mess around. Have fun with it.
You just tell me where to go.
I'll lead you. I'll lead you.
I'll do my 10
Oh,
minutes first.
I'll lead you.
See, there's my 10.
So we're not going together.
You got to do it yourself. All right, I'm coming around here.
All right.
And look at
We
that
are live.
receding hairline.
We are live. Look at that. Look at
Not
that.
took too long.
All right. We back? We're back. All right. Welcome back for the second segment of the Ghost and Clover Podcast live at SHOT Show 2025. My name is Trey, the Ghost Tactical. My partner here is Chris with CloverTac. We are at the Bersa booth. Our partners Bersa and Walk the Talk America. What's going on, Clove?
A lot.
All right.
Let's get running.
Let's
It's
get
Zeke's
running.
fault we're late.
We've got what's that?
Zeke's fault we're late.
It is. That's what I'm known for in the industry.
The guy's 6'8". You really want to be antagonizing
He
him.
takes responsibility. for
I
it.
do.
He's also a pretty man.
Accountability. That's a magic word. It does
I
wonderful
don't
things. in
understand.
life.
I don't understand what that means.
Accountability.
Yeah, no, I have none. All
I
right.
get it.
All right. So we got a couple special guests. The man to my left is the president of Xander's. He's also in the next week or two going to be my boss.
Hey.
So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to be my P's and Q's if you see me being like actually normal. That's why, because I don't want to get fired before I get
I'm
hired.
not.
First time
And
meeting
neither
him,
is
and
he.
we're 10 minutes late, so
Yes,
not the best.
yes. Welcome. Wow. I'm not going to go there.
I thought he was about to say, "This is the first time meeting him. I don't know what he's talking about."
Yeah,
Getting a
he's
job
like,
with my company."
you're
Yeah,
working.
we never hired him. I have
We've
no
never,
idea what
we've
you're talking
never
about.
heard of you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you pulled me in here
Yes.
against my will.
I did. And it's okay because we have drinks. Oh wait, we didn't drink one. My bad. It's going very down. No, real quick with Xander's Sporting Goods. It's well, I'll let you explain maybe the history. It's a long history of sporting goods and its distribution and all that. But please kind of give the elevator speech of what Xander's is.
Absolutely. So Xander's started back in 1962 as a fur trading company. The owner, Glenn Xanders, was big into trapping, all sorts of animals back in the day when fur was worth money. And then he would buy and sell. And eventually some of the customers that he had wanted him to start selling firearms as well. And that started in the basement back in some of their old farm shops in later in the 60s in Baldwin, Illinois. Eventually, they started to expand that, got into distribution, where it was selling thousands of firearms and ammunition out of a bunch of old barns, pushing shopping carts around. And then it's still family owned as that ownership is passed down through generations. That we've moved to Sparta, Illinois. Become very big into the automation space when it comes to our warehouse technology. So now it's still family owned, third generation. We're all woman owned company. Very proud of that, and they've done a great job moving us and keeping us transitioned with technology into what it takes to be successful in this industry and in this day and age. So that's kind of where we're at. So
I think a lot of people, especially in the audiences that may not be part of the industry, part of the community, don't understand the role of a distributor.
Distribution.
In a gun. Yeah. So
Very
can you
common
kind of,
question.
yeah. Can people explain for the people that
Yeah.
don't even understand that there is a distribution system?
Yeah. So I mean, the most layman's terms is we're middleman. There's a lot of dealers out there that cannot purchase direct through manufacturers because they may not have the capital, may not have the assets in order to place the POs that it needs to be to go direct with the manufacturer. So that's where they'll rely on distribution. Another big factor of distribution is that they can come to us and choose from a very, very wide range of products. And they can buy in whatever quantity they're wanting. They don't have to buy 50 of an item like they would if they went direct. They can come to us and they can buy a Ruger LCP. They can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield, Browning X-Bolt, along with any sort of deer hunting products, ammunition, whatever it is, and they can combine that all on one order. So we're kind of us at Xander's are one of few in our industry that we pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop. We don't necessarily focus on specific inventory. We try and have everything that our dealers will need in order to run a successful business.
Yeah. For companies out there that are maybe new or they're not in the distribution model yet, is there a way that maybe companies that are looking to get into that can contact you, or can they join to be part of your system as well?
Absolutely. So yeah, if you're a dealer and then you're not hooked up with Xander's, so you can go to our website, gxanders.com, go down to the bottom of the page. There's a forms link. There you fill it out. You fill out a form. It's called new dealer application. You do not need to have a storefront in order to purchase from us. As long as you have a 4473, or I'm sorry, an FFL, you can be a customer of ours. Even if you don't have an FFL, if you have a storefront that sells accessories, or you have a website where you'll do fulfillment services, we will work with you as well on that.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
No. One of the biggest things I wanted to ask you real quick is I know that you said you're not just this, you're not just guns. You have on the website, even if you're not able to purchase right there, you can look through a lot of the catalogs on the website, ammunition, outdoors accessories, hunting gear. So it's
all over the board.
And I know that Krista's over here, and Krista's a bow hunter and all that. Yeah. There's a big history in hunting with the Xander's family.
That's 100%. Yeah. I mean, we I don't want to say specialized because we carry 40,000 different SKUs. So it's a wide variety from tactical to camping to hunting. It's all over the board. But yeah, we try and basically, like I said earlier, be that one-stop shop, and it's expanded over the years to listening to our dealer base of, hey, I don't carry just hunting equipment. I also want to buy tactical equipment too. And so by listening to our dealers over the years, we've expanded our product offerings to accommodate their needs.
Yeah. I know you've got to jump out. Chris, are you going to be able to jump in when he leaves? Thank you for coming. I know you got to get out and all that. And
okay.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, you will. We'll see you in Sparta.
He's going to be hazing me. I just want to say that. I look forward to the hazing, but thank you.
Just promise me when he gets there, you do the "This is Sparta" kick to
This is Sparta.
We'll do that after his 2 weeks of training when he's getting ready to leave. It's just a kick.
Don't ever come back.
It's great. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And Chris is going to jump here in a second, and we'll let her wrap up. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and so while we switch over to Krista, Zeke's in the house, baby.
Zeke's in the
house. This is where y'all live.
Is it?
This is where we stay. We don't get a hotel room for our shop.
This is what all those sleeping bags over there in the corner are.
We stole those. They weren't nice enough to give us those.
Is the reason that like 10-gallon jug over there smells like sewage? That's okay.
It's not.
Never mind. I get it.
Well, it's.
That's our swamp.
We're not talking about that.
Swamp
okay, gotcha. I figured that much.
Yeah. So you've had some interesting stuff going the last few years.
I have had a lot of interesting stuff. It's funny because somebody asked me, I think it was Tuesday night. They were like, "Tell me about your journey into the gun industry and everything you've done." And I'm like,
we don't have that kind of time.
So from talking lead to another school that I used to work for to being an owner in another gunsmithing school, which is MGS Trade School, and then I had a TV show, which that was
for a while, man.
We got a whole season.
Yeah,
we had a whole season. It was fun, most fun I've ever had working in my life.
Yeah.
The weirdest stress when it went to air. Because I'm used to, I do a job. If something doesn't go right, I fix it. I learn how to fix it, or I hire somebody to fix it.
Right.
TV, once it's out there, it's done. It's there.
How
There's
weird
no
is it,
going back.
honestly? I try not to watch my own videos on
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just weird, right?
Yeah.
Don't like to hear your own voice.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I hate
How weird is to watch yourself on TV?
Well,
Do you watch
you
yourself?
see how much weight I've lost?
They say
The first
10
time-
pounds, man.
So we had a viewing party for like a lot of people don't realize that in Nashville, where I was living at the time, within 40 minutes of us is 22 Plankster, Hickok 45, T and Outdoors 9, James Akers
Yeah,
passed now, but
absolutely.
we were all in we had this little YouTuber circle
Yeah.
in Nashville, and I had all those guys come to the viewing party and stuff, and they're like, and now your host Zeke's out, and I walk out, and everybody's like, yeah, and I look at the TV, and I'm like, oh my god,
Does
I
that
got
look
huge.
like that?
I was 315 pounds.
Were you
when we
really?
filmed that
Well,
show.
you're a big guy, so you
Yeah.
carry it. You probably,
Yeah.
we wouldn't notice it because you are a big guy.
Yeah, I was big, but I was
Yeah.
starting to feel draggy and stuff. But then seeing myself on TV was that smack in the face.
Yeah.
It was like, oh wow, yeah, it's weird. But to what you were asking about, is it awkward to watch yourself? Yes.
Yeah.
The only reason I watched it is if my kids wanted to watch it with me. And other than that, I'm watching it and like I hear myself, I see myself, and it's kind of
Cringe.
God,
Yeah,
this is weird,
cringe,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it every time I look over at his computer. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. So
Like, who is that handsome gentleman?
So glad I'm not in that seat.
MGS Trade School.
Yeah, the gun school, man.
Man, it's awesome.
dude, it's taken off. I started in 2020, and since I started, and I'm not saying it's all me, we've got a phenomenal team.
But it is all you.
No, it's not all me. We've grown 290+%
Really?
since 2020.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's something I'm passionate about, the education space and even in the gunsmithing space, because gunsmithing is a dying art. I can count on one hand within 200 miles of me how many people I would trust with my guns that are valuable. And guess what? They're booked out 3 years solid.
Right.
And the good ones are either dying or retiring. So I tell people all the time, they're like, hey, can I make money at this? Is this a viable, job to have? And I'm like, absolutely. It's out there, and we provide it in an affordable way. You take our curriculum, our advanced 2, which is our biggest course. You get all the curriculum you get with our basic and advanced. You get all the tools you need to do the hands-on projects. There's 8 hands-on projects. Anything from fixing a beat-up M1 Garand stock to soldering 2 pieces of metal together, which a lot of people don't realize how hard that is. Maybe they soldered a wire to a motherboard in high school. They're like, oh, that's easy. No, it's hard to solder 2 pieces of metal together. And then even fabricating hand tools. We teach all these things. Then at the end of advanced 2, they get to choose from a 1911, a striker fired pistol, a Traditions muzzleloader, or AR-15 as their final build project. And then when they graduate, one thing that I always had an issue with before at other schools, and even at the beginning of this school, it's a trade school. I would get emails saying, hey, neat, I learned a lot about gunsmithing and I built the AR-15. How the hell am I supposed to start a business with the AR-15? And I'm like, oh, that's a good point. And then I had a brother-in-law at the time who graduated Auto Diesel College as mechanic, and he graduated with a pallet of tools. He could go to any machine shop. He could go to any body shop and say, I'm ready to work. And they're like, there's your bay, take your stuff and get to work. Gunsmithing schools, even brick and mortar gunsmithing schools, they don't do that. So I said, well, let's figure this out. Let's put a toolkit together. So now in our advanced 2, when the students graduate, they get almost $1,400 worth of tools.
That's great.
Belt sanders, bench grinders, everything they need if they want to start a shop in their garage, or if they want to go work for a gun shop that doesn't have gunsmithing, they can be rocking and rolling just like that. So,
Wow.
and all of that, the biggest key is keeping it affordable.
Yeah.
All that's $59.99,
That's
Wow.
what?
under $6,000 by a dollar. But
That's insane. That's
I could
insane,
still say
though.
it,
You
Lee.
could probably double that and still be competitive if you
yeah,
wanted to.
yeah, absolutely. But I don't feel it's right.
No, I understand. I love that.
Because it's one of those things where, do we have a bare bones crew to make it work? Yes, but it still works. Would we need to go up in cost if we get more students? Probably, because we need more people to be able to handle it. But I don't feel right charging $20,000 to $30,000 for a degree or a certificate or anything in gunsmithing, when most gunsmiths who have no experience when they graduate school, you may make 35, 45 grand.
Yeah.
So why would I charge you half of that to get the education?
That's
So,
That's a great point.
we want to create good gunsmiths out in the world. A lot of them can't go to a brick and mortar. We fix that issue. A lot of them can't afford 20 grand. We fix that issue. Even if you can't afford the $6,000, we don't do student loans because I don't believe in strapping people with interest for this, but
Right.
we'll do interest-free payment plans.
Yep.
To help people out. 99, give us $99 to start, and then whatever we figure out.
$100 gets you
Yep.
into basically gets you into. Oh, man, that's
Now
great.
you won't get all the stuff
No.
until you're starting to pay.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you'll at least start taking the course,
That's
and you, hey, like I like this, and
Right. This is
moving
great.
along. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you brought us in another guest, and we're going to bring him in here
that's
in
the
a little
other
bit.
half.
You want to jump to Chris first?
Yeah.
And then we'll
So
do
we've
that?
got Krista Miller, a buyer for Xander's, and kind of the chief know-it-all around here. And everyone that says, "Oh, go ask Chris, ask Chris, ask Chris." I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess first of all, I need to meet Chris. This is before the week. First of all, I need to meet Krista, and then I can ask her all these questions that I have." No, for the distribution model and all that, from a buyer side of thing, when you're out there looking for products, do you have a specific thing that you're looking for, or are you just trying to meet with companies and say, we have a specific plan, or is it let's talk to everyone to see if you fit right with Xander's?
Yeah, I mean, we try to talk to as many people as we can, and honestly, what makes a good buyer in a distribution setting is separating what do I personally like,
Yeah.
and what do I think the people that work with us are gonna like. You have to separate that completely because there's a lot of different stuff out there. We're looking for good partners. Not everything is going to do awesome when you bring it in. Some things are going to do really well. But it doesn't have to be the end. Like, let's work on our assortment. What's our demographic? What works for our customers? So, like Danny said, we carry everything soup to nuts. So there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot that we turn our head to.
Rumor has it you're a pretty big bow hunter.
I am.
That's pretty badass.
I really am. It's a passion. I put a lot of time into it. Fortunate enough to have a really large 900-acre lease in Southeast
That
Ohio.
probably does help. That
which
helps, yeah.
makes it pretty easy. But hunting is I can't say enough things about it. It's taught me how to be tough,
Yeah.
and taught me to be a badass, even though I cry a lot too. But
So, question for you on that note: did you hunt with rifles before bow?
so interestingly enough, I started out bow hunting.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I did.
I started with a rifle, and when I harvested a deer with a bow for the first time,
Yeah.
and then I went back to rifle, I felt like I was cheating.
Isn't it totally
Yeah,
different?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It is a weird. You're kind of like, because you tap into this primal thing with a bow.
You're
Yeah.
connected 200 and 300 years ago.
Right,
What
right.
you're trying to
And
do,
you're
yeah.
like, wow, I just harvested that deer with a bow. And
Yeah.
then you try to do it with a gun again. You're like, oh, now I feel bad.
It's so
I
much
don't
more.
really, but-
No,
I
it's
still
the
eat that.
taste
I
Think
still
about
eat
feeling
that.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's so much more intimate. You get to see how animals, live and move in the woods in their most vulnerable part of their life. And like to be 30 or 40 yards from an animal that's doing their thing is pretty awesome experience. So.
Yeah.
Well, you showed me a picture last night of an enormous, and it's like 5 times the size. How do you, when you shoot something that big, do you have to have help, or you
Oh,
is it all you?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not that big of a badass.
All right,
No,
well,
I've got it side by side and I got a boyfriend, so they both help.
Yeah. Whether they want to or not, the boyfriend's help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool because I remember we were talking, and bow hunting seems to be a passion because someone was talking about something. He said, I bow hunt.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Like, it's a passion. It's not just something a hobby, and I think
Yeah.
that's about when you're working with a company, your passions kind of have to come through also. So I mean, when you're looking out there, are you looking for things that you said you have to look at not
Yeah.
what you do, but that has to play a part of. I know what I like to do. I know what my employee friends like to do. That's got to play some role in the
Yeah,
decision.
for sure. I mean,
process.
obviously, I naturally gravitate to things that I would personally use,
Yeah.
but I think,
Awesome.
Oh, recurve or
See, I'm not a bow
Oh.
guy. That's your bow guy. He's
no, I do not shoot a crossbow. I shoot a Matthews
no.
Phase
I
4.
said recurve.
Oh, no,
or
no.
compound.
I'm sorry.
Compound. I'm sorry.
Phoebe here has lost her voice. Her sticky shoes.
Yeah.
I use a compound.
Exactly.
Yep, I use a compound.
Crossbows are cheating.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I'm all
I
about
agree.
crossbows.
If you're gonna use a
do it
crossbow,
once,
if you're gonna use a
I
crossbow,
just want
use
to
a
be like
rifle.
Chewbacca,
Just use a
man.
gun.
Just use a rifle.
Well, and crossbows are a pain in the rear to me. You
I agree.
got to get it all up, and you got to get the
Yeah.
arrow in just right, and then you got to make sure you hold it the whole time, and you don't accidentally hit the trigger, and then because then you got to do it all again.
I
And
think-
if you're out deer hunting, they hear all that.
Oh, they
Yeah.
hear
I,
every-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think crossbows do have a place with like
Sure.
handicapped.
Oh yeah,
So if you're not
Absolutely.
handicapped,
Absolutely.
you're cheating.
Or youth. Like if it's what
Yeah.
gets a youth out into the
Yeah.
Oh,
out
yeah,
into the
sure.
sport, like
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
So there's a company that my wife is from Japan, and she grew up in a culture where guns are not allowed.
Yeah.
So she's not a big fan of guns. She doesn't mind having guns in the house, and she's like, just don't ask me to get involved and leave me alone with it and all that. But in the last couple of years, as I go to shows and all that, she's like, hey, are the guns staged? Yes, they're staged for you. She doesn't have to walk more than 10 steps anywhere in the house to find something for her in case something happens. Steamboat, I'm going to throw a shout out. Steamboat, he introduced me to Steamboat earlier, and I was like, they're like little AR size crossbows, and I was like,
AR pistol.
they are pistol
Yeah.
size
Oh, wow.
crossbows, and I'm going to get one for my wife. And I was like, can you imagine breaking into my house and in the middle of the night, not hear anything? The next thing you know, you got this arrow in your
Just,
chest. And I was
just
like,
the noise it makes, right?
just I mean, talking about like what in the world. I mean, it's
Well,
really,
but
really
they've
cool.
got-
So I'm thinking a crossbow at this point. You
But
know?
they've got, and glad you brought that up because you've seen it too. But they've got the prototype of what's coming up,
Oh, the
which
68,
is the projectile launcher.
68
that-
caliber, anything
That will
68
add the
caliber.
ability for
Wow.
pepper balls and other
Oh, wow.
things.
Just when you think they
Anything.
can't come up with anything else.
It's
Yeah.
pretty.
You know?
Yeah.
Real quick, I know you got to get out here
Yeah, no
too.
problem.
Where people can contact Xander's, whether you're a company or just someone needed to ask questions, emails or websites, social medias, and all that.
Yep. So like Danny mentioned on the dealer side, if you go to our website, gzanders.com, there's a form down at the bottom of contact us. Shoot an email if you're a vendor interested in becoming a part of our manufacturer lineup. We review that stuff once every other week as a team. We call it our custom discuss.
What
so-
about FFLs if they want to get hooked up with you guys and purchase from you?
Yep.
They do it on the online as well.
So on our website, if you scroll down to the bottom, gzanders.com, there's a link that says forms. It'll bring up our new dealer application. It's pretty self-explanatory. Run it right through. We have a couple gals that do a really good job of trying to get them through the hopper as quick as they can, and we'll get you up and running.
Sounds
Sweet.
Thank you. I know we were a little late. I know you got
That's okay.
other stuff, but it kind of went a little bit late. But thank you so
Always have
much.
time for a coworker.
Oh, jeez. I just have a really bad feeling about the next 2 weeks. Now.
No,
I'm
you're
looking
going to be
forward to
great.
it.
We're
I'm
really looking forward to it. And honestly,
I am stoked. Really.
our
am.
sales staff, we needed a really good technical gun guy. So I think you're just going to fit like a glove.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking. I'm not looking forward to the hazing, but it's not the first time I've been hazed in my life. So
Right.
You're going to be fine.
I'll be fine.
You're going to be fine.
That's
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So we're gonna switch in Ryan now. And while we're doing that, we did have a question out there, so I'll let Zeke address it. From
Yeah.
G23 that says, what if a person lives in a state that doesn't allow ghost guns? And this is in reference to what Zeke said earlier about the
Our builds and
exam
everything.
about building.
So with our build kits, we looked at doing I'm not gonna call them ghost guns because that's what the left
It's
uses to make
bullshit.
them scary, right? We looked at doing unserialized, 80%ers, stuff like that, where people are finishing out themselves. But there's so many hoops you got to jump through, even though they're completely legal. There's a ton of states that have outlawed them and banned them. So we found we worked with a lot of manufacturers. We talked to FFLs, and we discovered, hey, we could do serialized lures. All of our receivers are serialized, and what happens is the student will enroll. When they get to the build project, we purchase them with the student's money, so it's not a straw purchase. And we did go through legal to make sure this is a legal thing. And then the gun is shipped from the manufacturer to the student's FFL of choice. They still have to do the 4473 and pass the background check. If they get to that point and they don't pass the background check, that means they lied to us in our initial application that they are not able to get a gun or
Not
FFL.
necessarily.
What's that?
Not necessarily.
Oh,
They might get a delay.
Oh, that's true. In
Oh.
California, you get these weird delays. So, but yeah. So the 80% thing, we just thought it was easier to just go with the serialized lowers.
So,
Gotcha.
yep.
So there you go. And I'll let you go ahead and introduce our
Yeah.
addition.
Do I get to co-host with you?
last minute. Well, since Ghost,
I'm
isn't here,
taking over for
Let's
Ghost.
do it.
Damn it.
let's do it. Talking
So-
about days.
Yes, exactly. So I love business. I love the gun industry.
Yeah.
And anytime I see opportunities within the gun industry to do business, to grow myself, to grow a company, I love to jump on it. And y'all know Sean Heron from We Like
Oh
Shooting.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Sean reached out to me and he's like, hey, there's this guy. He's created this amazing thing. I need to link you guys up. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll talk to him. So I ended up, were we on a Zoom call the first time or just a phone call? Yeah. So we did a Zoom call and he's explaining this thing to me. And it's a way to reduce recoil using magnets in a buffer tube.
Mhm.
Right. So basically you're eliminating the springs, recoil springs. And I was kind of like, oh, neat. And I don't have a physics degree, but I do have a science degree. I have a biology degree. And I love physics. I just hate math. So I don't know how to do all the mathing, part 2 + 2 is 9 to me. But it made sense. Newton's third law is, that's the equal opposite reaction thing. So magnets, they give back whatever you give them. Springs, if you change caliber, if you go high enough caliber, you're going to have to start changing springs. You got to start lowering springs, making them weaker, stronger, depending on where you're going on that spectrum. With this, you can go from 9 millimeter or less all the way up to 308 before you're having to get stronger magnets or
12
something.
gauge.
12. Oh yeah, even a 12.
Really?
Gauge. Yeah,
Yeah.
12
Oh,
gauge
wow.
is flat as a pancake. There's almost no muzzle rise. So basically, Ryan Van Aken. I guess I'd already said your full name.
Sure.
But
No,
yeah.
that's cool.
So,
It's cool.
FBI is on its way.
Yes.
apparently. They found him.
He created this thing. He got the utility patent on it, and our utility patent is basically, if you tried to reduce recoil using magnets, that's ours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
big.
it is amazing. It is the coolest thing. Him explaining it had me in. I'm like, yes, I want in, and so I'm part owner of the company now with him, and then 2 other individuals.
What
And
was your first reaction when you heard that? Was it like,
When I heard
When you-
the
yeah,
concept,
yeah,
it made sense to me.
really? Okay.
And I was excited.
To me, I'd be like,
Same
really? I don't,
Yeah.
Same when Sean mentioned it to me. Sean
Yeah.
said something to me.
I was like, that makes sense, and 2, this is my biggest complaint about our industry, right? We go out and we get the best engineers in the world in this industry. And every year we're like, we're going to launch the new AR-15.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, where's the
the
innovation?
best ever. It's
You know,
like,
yeah, where is the innovation?
Stoner
And
almost did it perfectly a long time ago.
Yeah.
What have we improved on this thing?
exactly. I mean, and then I saw a meme the other day while here at SHOT Show, and somebody said, "Way to go, gun industry! We just launched a gun invented in 1911 using a caliber invented in 1901 with a magazine invented in 1936. Way to be innovative!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh wow!"
And last year's handgun of the year was a 100-year-old high power design.
Right.
It's like really
exactly.
great guns, but we're talking 100-year plus designs are still winning handgun of the year.
Exactly. So when he tells me this concept, I'm like, this makes sense. This is innovative. You've already checked off 2 boxes in my brain. I can get into the company. You've checked off a 3rd box. Now I need to shoot.
Yeah.
So he sent me a prototype, and I went to the range. And right now we've got a proprietary size buffer tube, but we're making it mil spec, so it'll fit any buttstock that you have. But I put it on my rifle, plug and play. Took my old one off. You don't have to have the retaining pin for the spring, so just take that out because I'll show y'all in a minute how it works.
Crazy.
And I shot it. And y'all both shot with cans before,
Yeah.
right? You know that first time you ever shoot a can, you're like, wait, did it shoot?
Yeah.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
So this was the same thing, but not noise, feel. So I heard the bang. I saw the hole in the paper, but I felt like I shot a BB gun. So my first, from all the trainings and everything I've ever done, my first thought, I just had a squib load.
Yeah.
So I cleared everything. I looked in. I'm like, there's no squib. Wait, hang on. Shot it again. I'm like, oh my God. This, when I say this is a game changer, it's not just because I have ownership in the company. This thing is a game changer.
There's a reason why you have ownership in the company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That 12 gauge, and we won't be able to show it. Well, actually, we may be able to. I could probably show it on there with my phone. The 12 gauge is flat as a pancake. There's no muzzle rise. We've talked to people that said this will save lives because troops can stay on target without like having to get back on target. And here's the big kicker. All of a sudden, machine guns are accurate.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not, it's like this.
Back and forth.
Yeah, which I haven't shot it with the machine gun yet, but that's my next. That's my next step.
Yeah,
I would be. I mean, yeah. I want to.
And the power regeneration.
I would love to see a full auto, just to see what that's like. It'd probably be a weird sensation. I mean, it'd have to be a very weird sensation when you're expecting everything that goes with the rise and everything like that, and not to have to fight it. You know,
kind of what I think about it is you almost have to reach. Like it took me a few shots to retrain my body.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, something's wrong here.
Right, because you're so programmed that boom, boom is a shot, and then all of a sudden it's, and you're like, what? Oh, something's wrong. Something's off. But it's not. It's just the recoil is just nothing. So here is, I don't know.
And I shoot with just the stock, no button.
So I'll show y'all, and then I'll go to the camera.
Yeah.
So this is a 12 gauge AR-15, straight back.
Oh wow, it's back. It
There's
completely
no
changes
muzzle ride.
It completely
No muzzle
changes the
rise.
direction.
Oh my.
That's a 12 gauge, and not just as a 12 gauge. Did you see the shell? It's black. It's one of those heavy defensive rounds.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
That's insane.
It's unreal. Here, I'll do it for the camera. People can see it there.
Well, that or
Can they? Yeah, they can see it.
maybe if they can't. Where's that posted? Is it public?
No, it's not public, but I can give it to them.
If they go to my Instagram, I
It's on there.
well,
Your stuff's
I
on
don't know if that it probably is. If not, I'll
We'll-
make sure
we'll put
those
it
are
on
on there. But yeah, if you go to my Instagram, I try to keep everything up
What's
to date.
the Instagram?
It's the_real_fry_tech_LLC.
Okay, there you go.
And this is Ryan. Like I was introduced to him. He is the inventor. He is our
Congratulations, by the way. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
amazing.
He is our mad scientist. His passion is contagious. It's one of those things where he probably could have told me about a new popcorn flavor, right? And I've been like, I want in.
I want in.
And it's one of
Butter
those things.
and peanut butter?
Yeah.
I'm in.
And there's times where we've been talking to people, and I look over, and he's just, oh, and this, and they're going, yeah, and it's fun to watch that, And of course, there's sometimes where we might meet the suits, and we have to be, yes, sir,
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yes,
But for
sir.
the most part, I mean, when you and I'm not saying I did, but when he comes up or anybody comes up with something that's an innovative idea that works, to the point where the United States government says, stamp, here's your patent,
Right.
not patent pending, because people
No, not pending. Yeah.
people get tons of patent pending things and they try to rock it out, and we have the patent. I mean, it's a
20
book.
of 20 claims.
Yes.
I got.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's multiple things that we won't go too into detail because
Yeah.
we want to give people tastes here
Yeah,
and there.
sure.
But it is unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable how it. But I want to let Ryan just kind of wax poetic about everything and how he did it and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So
So how it started, I basically I did a whole rifle in 2023. We had gotten a booth here, and I had done an entire rifle that I had to teach myself CAD, and then because I wanted to do this certain thing, obviously, so I had to be able to.
He's getting into this.
Okay,
He's,
cool.
Yeah, he's.
So
I
I
don't mind
have
CAD.
all these 3D
I
printers.
don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
He's that's awesome.
You
Yeah,
have to-
CAD's hard, I hear.
You have to use
To
3D
get
print.
started, it's.
I do it on an iPad.
It's a different
too.
kind of thing.
Yeah, with a iPad
Yeah.
and stuff. But at any rate, I had gotten to the point where I had designed and manufactured an entire rifle that had the magnets in the back end. There was coil around it. It had there's a few versions. So the first one was trigger activated. There was a battery, and it would shoot a little electricity, which it would disrupt. And then eventually I did another one, which was just with the lens law concept with either aluminum or copper. It has this effect with the magnets in there. But on the rifle that was named the Bruharia, it had integrated power generating that ran an optic that was integrated, so it didn't run off a battery. There was a power bank that, as you operate the weapon or charge it, even it's.
Yeah.
And then people kept telling me that they're like, you got to make it so that people can. There's there's this huge market. With the ARs, they're like, make it so people can put it on an AR, and then that's when I started about 1.5 years ago working on it, and I got a guy that ended up helping me machine the prototypes. The thing's solid. I have the one that IB 8888 has.
Yeah, right. But
I myself have put over 17,000 rounds, 9mm up to the 12 gauge.
Wow.
Through that one, and there's no signs of even really wear. The magnets.
Because there's no really friction or anything like that, right?
And the magnets, I've been they're encased in carbon fiber nylon. They're indestructible. You could throw one in the air as high as you can, it'll come down. It won't break. But I mean, the magnets never really touch. But it's a solid thing. And then Sean, the first year that I went to SHOT Show, it was kind of cool because we ended up getting to show one of them in the new products, and we had our booth. But I guess I caught Sean and those guys' attention, and they talked about me on their show, and a bunch of different internet bloggings or whatever wrote about me and stuff, and I got some pretty good attention and stuff, but not until
and then Keith Zeke came to take advantage of you, basically.
Yeah.
Took half your world away.
Basically.
From you.
Well, no, not half.
Yeah.
But
But I took a chunk of it.
He took a good chunk of your life away.
Yeah.
And
It's
he
kind of like
doesn't
when
feel
you
bad
take a
about it
bite
at all.
out of a pizza. I got that bite.
He'll act like he cares, but he doesn't. He just wants his bite.
Yeah, I'm not really taking him around SHOT Show and introducing him.
No,
I'm just like, go talk.
just
I'll
go
act
talk.
like it was me.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
I love the story. I knew you throw the IG out there. There's some people in the chat saying they've been following you for years.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
There's a bunch of people on here popping up with that stuff. It's
Yeah.
fun watching this over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Behind the scenes. You miss it, don't you?
I do miss it. I even started it, and I'm not trying to pitch a third thing here, but
You are.
yeah, I am. It was weird.
Okay, Rob Jr.
My son paid. Oh wow!
Wow.
Where's he
yes,
at?
he's right out there.
My son made his high school golf team,
Nice.
and I started a golf YouTube channel, more to write off all the golf expenses and stuff like that. And
I've been able to write off golf for 22 years of being a golf pro, and that is no longer the case. That sucks. I got to pay for my own golf clubs now.
True.
Yeah,
See, it's expensive.
yeah,
I've
it
been
is.
playing free
That's
clubs
why I
for
did it.
25 years.
It was the same thing I did with Talking Lead.
Yeah.
We wrote off all our guns
That's
and
it.
ammo and stuff. And I'm like, I'll do this with golf. 4 months. I got 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, whoa, that took me
Exactly.
2 years to do in the gun world. So
Yeah.
there's part of me that's excited
Yeah.
because Dilla Golf just took off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's part of me that's kind of pissed off because I
now you gotta take this
I was
serious?
grinding. Well, no, well, yeah, that's true. But I was grinding hard
Yeah.
with Talking Lead
Oh,
just to hit that
absolutely.
10,000 mark. And
It just shows.
happened
It just shows. And hey, this is not. I'm not trying to get political with YouTube or anything like that, but it just shows how hard it is to break through in the gun
It is.
tube side of things.
And
They're not. I'm not saying they're suppressing. I'm not. I don't know the facts, but it seems a lot more difficult to grow and get exposure in this realm than it is in golf or cosmetics or music or cars or whatever.
well, and Clover and I had this discussion on somebody else's podcast. I can't remember. We were both on it at the same time, but I can't remember whose show
Charlie,
it was.
Matt, and Charlie.
Yeah, I think it may have been, but we were talking about that. And, when you're in this space,
Yeah.
your first thing you go through is censorship, suppression, whatever. But at the same time, in the Talking Lead days, in the beginning of Ghost Tackle and beginning Clover, it was the Wild West.
Oh, 100%.
We could grow and we could grind and we could grow. the market is so saturated now. I mean, that's the toughest part now. Like if somebody came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I want to start a gun YouTube channel," I'm like, "Ooh,
good luck."
You guys
Yeah.
stand out. You really do.
yeah."
You got to bring something completely different because, and the problem with being completely different in this realm is that typically means maybe unsafe practices. I mean, there's all that
Well,
stuff.
Either the being completely different, which you're right. Sometimes it means people doing stupid stuff,
Right.
But also the production value has gone sky high. When Marty and I were doing this, we had a Sony Handycam I bought at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
The quality was crap.
Yep.
Wasn't even 4K, 3K. I don't even think it was 2K. It was just And we
Probably
just
480p.
we filmed whatever. I used the free iMovie on my Mac, and now it's like these new kids are coming out.
There are people that can film like Hollywood style movies
On
with
an
a
iPhone.
phone these days.
It's insane. So yeah, it's been fun. But the Fry Tech thing, I don't know. How did I get on golf shit? What
I
the
don't
heck?
know.
Can I say that on your show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's something I believe in. Anything I get involved with, I don't. Little short rewind.
Yeah.
I spent 13 years in the medical field before I got in the gun industry. The end of that, I chased the dollar signs in the sales side, right? And before that, I was in the clinical side. So I chased the dollars, made a ton of money, and I was absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
And I think that was the best lesson I could have ever learned. I'm motivated by money to an extent because you have to have it. I'm not happy because of money. And what makes me happy is taking something I believe in and growing it. I love growing things. I did it before with the school I was at.
Yeah.
I've done it with MGS. Now I want to do it with FryTech. I love seeing something that could benefit our industry, which all of us at this table are extremely passionate about. I mean, in my vision with this, there will be no buffer springs in handguns, rifles, or anything ever again once this gets out.
Yeah,
I just think that this is something that can sweep the industry completely and get rid of something that may not be the most efficient way to reduce recoil in anything.
It was the way for so long. It was the best way.
Right.
It was just maybe it was the cheapest way. I don't know.
And it works. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you can take things that work and make them better. Look at cars.
Yeah.
Cars have worked for years, but we keep trying to make them better. Why aren't we doing that with guns too? So
well, thanks for bringing Ron by.
Yeah,
thanks for you jumping on.
Yeah.
And I gotta kick you out because the floor closes in 20 minutes. And we still got another 20 minutes.
We still have our two sponsors to break in.
So we've let you literally have 30 minutes of time. So.
I did want to say thanks for those of you.
Awesome job. Awesome job, Zeke.
For those of you that don't know, you are looking at the GOAT, by the way.
The GOAT?
The greatest basketball player of the SHOT Show League. He is the GOAT of SHOT Show basketball. So is a game ever going to come back? Or is
They're
it
having
done?
it tonight,
Oh,
but they decided Monday.
Okay, last time I heard they weren't going to have it.
I didn't think they were going to have it.
Did you bring your shoes?
No, I got a call Monday, and he was like, "Hey, you going to play?" And I'm like, "We're having it," and I was like, "I didn't know." And he goes, "Yeah, we just decided last week." And I'm like,
That is the GOAT right there.
All right, we will be
5
back
minutes
shortly
or maybe 3
with the last segment. Stay tuned.
Bersa has been a leading manufacturer for over 60 years. At Bersa, they understand that your safety is non-negotiable, and that's why they've crafted a line of exceptional firearms that redefine excellence. Their state-of-the-art manufacturing ensures every firearm is meticulously crafted to the highest standards, guaranteeing reliability and accuracy when it matters most. Whether you're a seasoned professional or a first-time gun owner, Bersa has a perfect solution for your needs. From the sleek and compact Thunder series, ideal for concealed carry, to the powerful and versatile BAR rifle, their range of firearms are designed for shooters who demand excellence in performance and design. Join the community of those who trust Bersa, a brand synonymous with innovation and quality. Their commitment to safety and precision has made them a trusted choice for law enforcement agencies and responsible gun owners alike. In a world where mental health is often overlooked, one organization is leading the charge. Walk the Talk America, a force for change, breaking down stigmas and fostering conversations that matter. At Walk the Talk America, they believe in the power of dialogue to reshape the narrative surrounding mental health. Their mission is simple but profound: to bridge the gap between mental health and firearms, because they understand that the real change starts with understanding, empathy, and open conversation. Tune into their groundbreaking podcast, Guns and Mental Health, where experts, advocates, and survivors share their stories and insights. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement towards a more compassionate and informed society. Join them as they organize events, workshops, and outreach programs to build a community that supports mental health without judgment. Join me in supporting Walk the Talk America and visit their website, walkthetalkamerica.org, to be part of the change. Well, guys, we do invite you to go check out both ours and Clover's YouTube channels. Ours is Ghost Tactical, where you can find all of our content over there, including our videos and our podcasts. And you can go check out Clover at CloverTac. Obviously, you can check out all of his content and podcasts as well. We also invite you to check out our websites. Ours is ghosttactical.us, where you'll be able to find everything that we're doing, including our swag store. And Clover's is clovertac.com. Once again, find all of his projects, all of his swag, and all of that. More importantly, guys, we do thank everyone for always supporting both myself and CloverTac, whether it's just by watching our stuff or those that do spend their hard-earned money through YouTube channel memberships. We do truly appreciate you guys. You guys make this all worthwhile. We are currently getting ready for our next guest, so stand by for the standby.
And we are back with the final segment of the Ghost Clover Show live from SHOT Show 2025,
Finally.
the day 3 from the Bersa booth. We're here with our partners, Bersa and Walk the Talk America. We've got Mariano and Rafael from Bersa. We got Jake from Walk the Talk America.
So the first day,
Hello again.
Slicker now not run great. Pincus derails us yesterday.
Greatest segment in the history of podcasting yesterday.
Probably.
Anywhere.
Z completely demolishes what Pincus did as far as derailing us.
You think those guys can talk?
Oh,
just
my God.
wait. We'll be here till 7.
They lock the doors here pretty soon.
Right.
Probably more
Although,
comfortable
wouldn't
in
that
my
be
bed.
cool if this is the place you get locked in overnight? I'm okay with that.
Right.
I think I could find some beer.
At night at the museum, this would be a cool place to get locked in at night.
Well, I want to say, for Bersa, Robbie, Mario, Rob, thanks for once again let us come into the booth, do this.
Absolutely.
Hopefully this year we raise some money for Walk the Walk America, which is an add-on to what we were doing last year. We're going to definitely try.
It's great.
And I know you sound like me.
My voice is
So,
shot.
I hear you.
That's why I brought Mariano.
To be fair, Rolf always kind of sounds like that.
So
though,
I think he's faking just to make Mariano work. But we're gonna let
Mario
In my English is terrible.
That's hey. It sounds sexy though. So you are a sexy mascot.
Wow.
So take it away. Then. Let's go. How shot been from your
This is his first SHOT Show.
Is it
Yes,
really?
my first shot.
Wow.
He's been at our
Too much. Too much.
So
2%.
Overwhelming.
have you cried this week out of stress?
Not this week, every day.
That's why it has Jake here.
Yes.
Psychologist.
So
No.
Jake's gonna
Merely
help you
American
out.
Family therapist.
I cry because I want everything.
Yeah.
Sorry,
At the candy store. What are you touching over there?
No, it's. You don't hear me okay in the microphone.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up at all on my end.
Oh.
Okay, we're good. All right. As long as it's good, as long as you can hear me, it's like very faint in my ear. We're good.
You're fine.
Yeah,
man.
okay.
I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Okay.
Mariano just said he cries every day because he wants everything here.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't walk around.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see everything I need
Right.
or want.
Right.
Yeah. First SHOT Show. Expectations versus the reality now that it's almost over.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm I run the online store in Argentina for Bersa.
Right.
For spare parts and accessories. We can sell guns online in Argentina.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
How does that work?
No,
Yeah.
they can't.
Oh, that can't.
Oh, you
Can't.
cannot.
Sorry,
okay.
I told you my English
No,
is
it's fine.
really
Okay,
bad.
good. Okay.
But I'm looking for new products and new stuff for our show, and I'd be amazed how the people feel about Bersa.
Mhm.
With everything. Hey, Bersa guy. That's made me proud.
Yeah, that's all, Ralph.
Yes.
Ralph did it.
100%. He's
It-
Go
nothing to
tell
do.
the bosses. It's all
Nothing
because
to
of me.
do. Nothing to do with the guys. Nothing. Sedini or something.
wow.
Right?
Wow.
All Ralph. It's all Ralph.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Big race coming, Ralph. Big race.
Maybe a hunting trip or something
Maybe.
at the least.
I doubt
So I know you're not really able to speak, but I've kind of gotten the vibe that it's kind of back. You know, it's kind of almost got that pre-cough vibe again.
I mean, this is certainly
It's been a good show,
the
hasn't it?
best shot show, maybe even since before
Yeah,
the
the cough.
the vacation.
The vacation, yeah.
And it's been great. It's
Well,
been great.
I think it's definitely the pinnacle of the Caesars Forum,
Yes.
Yes.
without a doubt.
Caesars was busier
Regardless
per capita than Venetian most of the week.
Yeah.
I've been hearing from people just talking that now there's people that are over there that want to
That
come
want
over
to. And
and they were poo-pooing on it
exactly.
Yeah.
for so long. It's so much better over there.
Like,
He just said poo poo.
he did.
Poo poo. No, it is because I think when it first opened up, you're like, oh, no one's going to come over there.
Yeah.
Like they're just going to forget that there's half the show over there and all that.
Well, that didn't happen.
I love Caesars. I don't know if it's because it's brighter. I'm not really sure what it is. It just seems like it's a better
brighter,
vibe.
it's newer. The bathrooms are clean.
They are. Yeah.
You know, you're not.
It sounds bad, but
when
that's
you
a
walk
big
into the
deal.
bathroom, you're not walking through water.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. It's getting close already, and Pincus isn't even in here. We're getting ready to
I
go
know.
poo and water.
I
So,
poo and water.
Pee.
Got the potty talk already. We better go to Jake. We better go to
You
Jake.
think that's going to make it better?
yeah, you know.
I don't know. We're
Yeah.
hoping. Fingers crossed. But yeah, what
It's been good.
Y'all
Yeah,
been
so
busy.
well, my first shot was in 2020, and so we made that was my overload experience of seeing all the stuff, and I had too much stimulus.
well, that was Trump that gave those away. The stimulus.
The what?
That was Trump that gave those away, the stimulus.
Yeah, stimmies. Yeah, so it was good, and I my basis of comparison has been basically the build up since 22.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, and I would agree that the volume and the energy have increased, but from my perspective, which is very limited, which is just Walk the Talk America, that from 2020 to 2025, the awareness of what we do and who's comfortable talking about this subject has skyrocketed. It's I'm really proud of that, and I'd like to claim a little bit of it. I think just because I'm the sticker guy who hands out Chinese stickers to everybody, but
You have your own sticker. You and Mike have your own sticker.
we do,
which
I
is
should
a
get
beautiful
the faces,
sticker.
The faces one, yeah. I've never been turned into a cartoon before, but now I am. I don't know if I'd have 3 fingers or 4 in a cartoon. Probably not 5. But it's been great because we approach people and we're like, hey, have you heard of us? And if the answer is no, it's but tell me what you are. And I'm wearing a Guns and Mental Health T-shirt and I'm handing out the stickers. And previously it was no with a caution, suspicion, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm not sure I want to even have this discussion within earshot of literally anyone else. And now it's like, no, please tell me more. I'm so grateful that you're doing this. This is great. It's been long overdue. And NSSF has done a good job of leading this charge and pushing it into the forefront with, the panel they had today, the partnership with AFSP. And so more people are talking about suicide prevention, yes, cool. But we're also talking about getting upstream from just crisis intervention and actually talking about overall wellness. And I love that we nest it in with firearm owners' preparatory mindset. Like we're all in preparing, right? And being prepared and being mentally well is part of being prepared for whatever hits you in life, whether it's a natural disaster or a person on the street who, comes up to you, or it's just like making sure that you have food in the fridge for the kids at dinner time, right? Like being mentally prepared, being mentally well, staying on top of your communication, knowing your emotional functioning, improves communication, it improves parenting, it improves boss-employee relationships. And we have driven that, and I'm very proud that we've driven that. We've driven a lot of the communication connection within and among the firearms community in all its disparate parts, from the veterans groups to the Department of Defense to the industry to the retailers, the wholesalers, the ranges, the shops, the manufacturers. Like everybody now is enthusiastic about it. If they've never heard of it, they want a piece. And if they haven't heard about it, they're curious and they're asking good questions, and they're allowing themselves to maybe change their mind on a few things. Like, I had a conversation last night with a guy who said, yeah, I think background checks are good to make sure that, the mentally ill people aren't having guns. So I was like, well, tell me what your understanding of mental illness is.
Yeah, what's your definition first off? Yeah.
Completely fell apart. And I was able to shine some light on his blind spots. And he was like, okay, now I get it. I get what this volume of information is that's out there that I didn't know. Right. And so it was a really fun conversation. And he's like, okay, I'm thinking differently about this. And where it started was honestly like concealed carry reciprocity. I was like, well, there's a whole bunch of people out there, myself included, who don't think concealed carry should even be permitted. And Thomas Massey, by the way, just today introduced a bill for national constitutional carry, which I think is awesome. I could just point to the Second Amendment and be like, it's already in there.
It's those 27 words we know a lot,
Yeah, but the point is now it's like, okay, mental illness can and should be overcome. I say that in the podcast in the opening thing. Oh, here's Mr. C.
Oh, look at here.
He's got him some booth beer.
Oh, booth beer. Best. I love booth beer.
Booth beer.
So
let me sip it. I'm so thirsty.
He's been gargling rocks. Yeah. So we and when you overcome your mental illness, whatever form it may be, go back to life. And life includes freedom. Life includes the freedom to defend yourself as you see fit, the freedom to participate in all the activities you want. We shouldn't have restrictions based on illnesses. That's just dumb. Like
you mentioned something. I don't know if you meant to or not, but it's something that I know that you guys, especially Mike and you, have done for at least the last few years. Is you want to try to change minds absolutely on how they perceive the gun world. But I think what the best thing y'all have kind of maybe done, either by choice or by mistake, but it's working, is instead of trying to change everyone's mind, to say, look, I'm not here to I'm not going to change your mind today. I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to plant the seed. And if you go and find the information on your own, you'll believe yourself when you believe us. Here's the documents. Here's the data. We're not going to skew it for you. Take your own. And I think that is working, instead of trying to fight them and say, all I do is ask you to, I've listened to you. All I'm asking is listen to what our data says, what we're saying. We're already ahead of all this. You say the gun industry doesn't do anything, but yet we're already ahead of all of this. Just open your eyes. And I think that that's really, really good, because planting that seed, if they find the answers on their own, it wasn't you. It was them.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I think it's great what y'all are doing.
And speaking of data, I gave this plug the other day, but I'm going to give it again. Please go to our website and take the 2025 Gun Owner Survey. We're trying to check the temperature of attitudes about mental health care access, restrictions thereto, any obstacles. Obviously, one is a red flag law. If you live in a state with an extreme risk protection order law, we want to know if that's actually a deterrent to care, which we believe it is, or if it's not a big deal. That's fine. I'm not afraid of data that prove me wrong. I'd like to just have my hypothesis answered. So take the survey, give us your feedback, please. It's available at WTTA.org.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what are y'all watching something that I ain't watching?
So CNT Designs and Arms, they put a comment and said, funny that Brady and Gifford act like they have never heard about Walk the Talk. He says, I've personally been on their meetings and put the info out there.
Yeah.
And I know you've talked to him probably as well.
Which is hysterical, because I've been on the Brady podcast.
They never heard of him.
And JJ from Brady just saw me at the National Gun Violence Prevention or Research Convention, came up to me and hugged me and said, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I said, "Look, I'll take a picture with you just to show the world that we're not going to explode if we touch."
Right. And secondly, now there's proof that you know me. You know, don't say that you don't know who we are and what we're doing.
Could there be certain people that are quasi aligned with him, or maybe even just claim that they are? Maybe a possibility.
But aligned with what? Walk Talk America?
No, Giffords and Brady.
I don't think anybody would say that. I mean, people are going to say dumb stuff all the time, right? Like, I don't really care about that. I don't think Mike does either. What's important, I think, for the audience to know is that the people we deal with are scientists who research stuff, and they get some research data and they publish it. And then those groups that want to control freedom will take it and use it for their purposes rather than looking at it agnostically. What we like to do is go to the researchers themselves and say, do you guys ask the right questions? Here's a question we'd like asked. We'd like to ask people if they're afraid of coming into care based on some policy positions in their states. And usually Mike's been good at pointing out blind spots that, they go, no, we have not asked that question. We just presume that the efforts moving forward are good. And it's like, well, did you think that maybe an extreme risk protection order law is actually killing people because instead of getting the counseling they need, they're actually avoiding care and getting worse? And Mike's shared this before. He says they stop and they go, did not consider that. Please tell me more. Right. So the research community is now starting to go, well, okay, maybe we need to ask some different questions when we take our data and do our studies. And when and if they produce that, it says, 28% of firearms owners would absolutely 100% avoid care if they thought that there was a possibility they'd lose their firearms rights. What are you going to do, Brady? You're going to take 28 to 30% of 110 million and say, we don't care like that. That's going to stop them in their tracks, I think. So that's why it's important to start generating our own research. Yeah.
So we've got about, 4 minutes before they close the shot floor.
We literally have to get off.
Literally close down shot.
They don't know we're on here, though.
Did you address that, like, we come full circle here?
So I'll do it.
Okay, so
there's a circle.
Bersa.
You start here and you ended up back where you started.
Bersa USA was Roth and I for many, many, many years, right?
Yes.
And Roth and I were in New Orleans.
Yes.
And we were out.
He seems worried about this story. I'm not really sure why.
Story.
Roth and I were at a restaurant, and Roth was talking to a nice lady at the bar, like by herself.
She was reading a book.
She read the book that you read. Yeah.
I asked her if she liked it. I just finished reading it.
Yeah.
And then we got to talking, and she was there by herself. And Mike and I were like, "Could you join us for dinner?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay."
And she's the one who asked the question to Roth and I, how are you working with the mental health community?
No, she said to us, how do you feel about,
mass shooting?
There's some shooting that had gone on. And we said, well, we as the gun industry as a whole always blames it on the person being crazy, whatever,
that's
the word. And then everybody else blames it on the gun.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what do you guys, and she said, what do you guys think? And we said, man, we wish that we all thought a lot more along the same lines. She said, well, what are you doing about it? What do you guys?
And Roth turned instead. You should donate $1 a gun to mental.
Yeah, that's how it started. Let's donate $5 a gun to mental health. And then we're like, who do we give it to?
Yeah, like we didn't even know, but like that was the night that
this
crazy whole thing started.
Yeah.
It started over us going out drinking, trying to get a nice meal, and meeting a complete stranger that
they called you out and asked you a question. No, it is.
And Mike said it to me a million times. Wish we had gotten like her business card or gotten her information, but we obviously hey, my name's Sue or whatever, I don't know. But be like, hey, give me all your info. But if we had, we could give her credit for all of this.
That's
she asked.
amazing.
So it's Bersa, Roth, and Mike.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I remember first meeting. We went to the story a couple of days ago and you're on here, but I remember one of the first things that you told me when we met is you want people to be able to talk about mental health like they do the common cold. 6 years later, how close are we doing that?
We are
doing that. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's no longer this faux pas. This we don't talk about that in the gun community. Now you're championing this talk in the gun community, and that's you've been to the White House, dude. That's insane. That's insane.
The world didn't freeze over.
Well, not yet.
Well,
It's
maybe.
close.
I mean,
It did snow 7 inches in Mississippi.
Yeah, it did snow in Florida a couple of days ago, so maybe it is freezing over.
But I appreciate your support, Bersa.
Yeah.
Like I said, none of this happens rough. Like, none of this happens if it all doesn't line up perfectly and having people believe in you. Jake, this man,
yes.
I mean, he did a full-time job for him on top of his regular full-time job, and he doesn't get paid. So we have a perfect team of people that literally put their heart and soul into this. And I can't thank everyone.
I enjoyed this week watching you guys because you were all over the place, and not being anchored down to a booth obviously probably helps, but you have guys that are walking around having meetings, serious meetings 6 years into this, and you've got an army here this week. That's amazing, and they're all taking your meetings. No, it's an army, man.
You two have been there since day one as well, so I consider you family.
It's easy to get behind something and someone that's passionate about what they believe in, and obviously you're passionate about this. And who would have thought 20 years ago that's what you'd be doing?
I would have thought you need mental health.
Yeah, right. You and I have known Jake just for a whole other reason.
Well, you know what we do is amplify messages.
Yeah,
Whether that be
that's
a
all we
message from the gun industry, like Bersa saying our guns are awesome. Arch Walk is all America saying this is important, right? To that, I think before we get out of here, I think Ghost.
Yeah.
We should probably talk about the little thing we're gonna have in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So
we're gonna try to put some money where the mouth is, so to speak.
yeah, so we'll be posting some pictures before this, kind of leading up to it. Clover had a sign made that had the logo of every industry partner and every organization that we're here today or this week. We had all of them sign it, and
we'll get Mariano.
We'll get Mario to sign it. Yeah. So
That should drop up the price.
Oh,
Yeah.
by 1,000.
And talking about the first time
Yeah.
being here, the first time I know we met Michael was in Houston.
Houston,
In
yes.
the NRA annual meeting. Sorry about my English.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We're talking about to put the car
Yep.
in the
In the
Bersa
bucket.
guns, and we're talking about the idea to translate
Yep.
to Spanish.
Oh wow.
That was the most amazing idea.
Because we are Latin American brand.
Mhm.
We speak Spanish, and a lot of people here in the U.S. are Hispanic people, and they read Spanish, speak Spanish, and it was it was a great idea put in Spanish,
So
and
all
also
the walk the talk information that comes in Bersa guns is in English and in Spanish.
yes,
Flip the card.
Yeah,
That's
well,
awesome. I didn't know that.
To come up with that idea, though,
That's
to
awesome.
take the idea and say, let's make it better.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it more
Because-
universal.
You know, face it, there's people that speak Spanish every day and maybe only can read Spanish, whatever.
Right.
And
No, it's
Yeah, thank you for that.
I was so proud to get involved with that on that project.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was,
The
that
work
was
you do
Mariano.
is really great.
Nice.
We in Argentina, we can find people like you to do that kind of work.
Right.
We
It
when
doesn't
we
exist,
work
right?
on the translate of all the sorry.
you're fine. No, you're doing fine.
When we are working on the translate, we think we can do this in our country. But we can find it. I think it's too valuable the work you do. We need
The
more.
good news is Argentina starts with an A too. We won't have to change the
Yeah.
acronym.
Walk the talk Argentina.
Yeah,
There you go.
Be like
the same
Yeah.
logo.
Yes.
Savito,
Yeah.
The great you do, the work you do is great.
What we're planning on doing is auctioning off this sign to the viewers.
Or baby raffle. We had this.
Or raffle,
Yeah.
however we're going to do this. We're going to have an opportunity for anyone out there watching to purchase this. And then we have a lot of industry partners that have come on board and said that they will, donate or match or whatever that winning price. And all of those proceeds will go to Walk the Talk America. Mike, it's not going to be a lot. I mean, as much as we can, we would love to get you, $20 million. I'd love to be able to just sit there and say, you never had to work a day in your life and this thing's going to be fine, but a couple $1,000 might get you to the next conference or whatever that might be. So we're going to do what we can, but we also say this is you don't have to wait for that raffle or that auction. Anyone and everyone should be going to WTTA.org and fill the survey out and hit that support or donate now button anytime, any day you want. So
and don't forget that we've also now got the value add.
Yes.
You're going to get this one of a kind sign.
You also got a cool.
You're going to be not only supporting a good organization, but you're going to be putting in the seed money that through these companies boosts that donation.
That's correct.
But we've got a $400 and some odd dollar airsoft AR style
M4
prize package that will be
with vest,
with the vest, with the goggles. Yes, that will be included with whoever wins that.
You get $400 with the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Exactly.
We'll be doing that
So
probably in
we'll
the middle
look
of
at that.
February when we get this done. We
Couple
get home.
weeks.
Couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks when we get back.
Let's close it. Let's get out of
close
here.
it. Get out of here. Thank you so
We're gonna
much.
get locked in here.
Thank you so much to Bersa. Thank you so much to Walk the Talk America for everything you're doing for this industry. We have had a great time this week. We'll hope to do it again next year.
Yes.
We'll see you guys after SHOT Show. Take care.
Everybody wave.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys being
Thank
here.
you, audience.